Liam, is there any way of telling if you have previously requested to connect with someone if it's no longer pending? That is a great question. Okay, if, let me tell you a quick story. Years ago, before we made everybody use Sales Navigator, we were using normal LinkedIn. Maybe it was even premium, but we'd have the list and we'd be going through the list and you do like maybe a page of invites a day at a time or something. And then one day I was like running into all these people where it said I'd already invited them. And I was like, crap, like, how am I going to, I can't, like, my process had to change because it's not like it says easily, you can't easily view on LinkedIn, these are all the people that you've invited unless you're going to your invited pending page, right? So actually here, let me read the question again. Is there any way if you've previously, oh, sorry, if it's no longer pending, right? So it's not like really easy to get a list of people that you have invited to connect. And then if it's no longer pending, it could even be for a couple of reasons, right? That maybe they said no. That's totally on their end. Maybe you withdrew the invitation and it's no longer pending. And if you try to go back and invite someone and they withdrew if they said no, you can't re-invite them. If you withdrew it, there's a waiting period and then you can redo it. So it's like, it's really cumbersome. And so what I think the easiest way to know if you had previously invited someone to connect is to add a tag. You have to be either in Sales Nav for this or use a third-party software, is to tag someone with something that says you invited them. And then you can go back, and if you're using Sales Nav, it's really easy because it's built into search. You can just view your second and third degree connections, use that tag as a search filter, and then see everybody that you've invited, but it's still pending. And then if it's not pending,
And it's the first connection.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's true. It's not pending because they accepted, but I don't know if there's any way to see if it's not, to easily see if it's not pending because they said no. You know. So does that make sense? So there's a, you can see everybody that you've invited to connect if you tag. That makes it pretty easy. But if it's no longer pending, I don't know how you'd easily get that list other than if they said yes. Like if they said no, there's not a way to get that. But if they said yes, it'd be everybody who is a first degree connection. So that's kind of, I feel like that's a little bit all over the place. Does that make sense, Jared? Do you have any?
Yeah, it makes sense. There is no list that you can generate of people that don't like you and rejected you. So you can engage them in another way. That's not really possible within LinkedIn. In Sales Navigator, you can give them a tag indeed to see who you invited and if they're in the next box. And so you can filter them out by the tag, and that's mainly the only way within LinkedIn to do that.
Yeah. So you can get the list of people that are no longer pending because they said yes, because they're in your network and you've engaged with them and
Yeah.
you've updated their tag. But I don't think there's a way to get a list of people that you've invited, but it's no longer pending because they said no. I to my knowledge, maybe you could, at least not easily, not in a way that would maybe make sense for investing your time in it because it's not really built in. Yeah. What is kind of neat too is if you've been tagging people as you go, you can go back and view your relationship for second, third degree and see like maybe your activity has been bothering people. Maybe you're being a little too loosey-goosey with your messages. And if you're seeing that you have a lot of people tagged who used to be first degree connections, but they're not anymore, you might need to change what you've been doing on LinkedIn because people are not just, unfollowing you, they're actually removing the connection. Some people do that just periodically because they feel like, they want to prune their network or whatever. But if you're seeing that a lot, maybe slow it down on whatever you're doing and just ask yourself, is there a reason why people are removing the connection?